Now we're going to start with a threaded ring sling. So if you want to put the rings on your left shoulder, this would be my example, rings on my left shoulder, I put the rings in my left hand and this adjusting piece faces left. You're putting it on your right shoulder, they'd be in your right hand by your right shoulder and the adjusting piece facing right. At that point, I'm going to stick my arm through and just pull it right over my head. I can put it up here on my shoulder where I want it to be. Hey, we're making a video for Bridget and baby Ethan. Yeah, we're sending them a video. So you've got this up on your shoulder here. Now you've got your piece here. We're gonna make that little pocket. Ooh, before we make the pocket, we're gonna make sure it communicates. So that's why we wanna make sure it's not flipped over on your back at all. So you're going to grab this outside piece here, furthest away from you. Grab this bottom piece here. Reach your arm around and you do that dry your back thing. And as you can see, it's kind of pulling it down right now. So we know that nothing is twisted on my back. All right, so now that we know it's working, we're gonna make that pocket. So we're gonna pull all your fabric around to the front. And we're going to reach that bottom edge underneath to make that pocket. There we go. It looks like that. I'm going to tighten the outside piece a little bit because I don't want a big loose pocket. I want it flat against my chest. Sometimes you kind of need to help it a little bit since you're just tightening that piece. So see, now I've got it flat against my chest. All right, now I'm gonna make sure again the rings are up where I want them to be, maybe a little bit higher than where I want them to be, since we know we can't adjust when baby's in their way to keep the pocket. Do you wanna say hi?
Yeah.
All right, say hi.
Hi.
All right, now we're going to, again, make sure all that fabric's in the front and we're going to put baby in. We know that he likes to have his little legs scrunched underneath him, so we're going to lift him up on our shoulder.
Mommy,
and welcome his legs into the pocket. Really, we're gonna make sure we gather up this fabric. There's enough to cover the top of his head, but of course we don't. So we want to make sure that middle third of the fabric is over him. So we've got about a third tucked underneath us, a third over him, and then a third on top here. So then we'll make sure he gets settled in. You can, on the ring side here, reach in between you and make sure that pocket is where you want it to be. You can let him settle his little tootsies where it's comfortable for him. All right, and then he wants his hands up, right? Then we're going to take all that fabric again to make sure it's here. And that's when we're going to start tightening. So tighten the top, 1, the middle, 2, and the bottom, 3, which you might not need to tighten as much. Then if you've got a little bit extra still here, feed that back towards the top and tighten that again if you need, so we know that he's supported here. We want to make sure that it's supported across his back and his butt. That way there's not really pressure, his weight isn't on his feet if this middle section is tight enough. We want to make sure it is supporting his neck. If you've got too much fabric up here because he's little, you can do that diaper, rolled washcloth thing. Another thing you can do is you can take this here, the adjusting tail, and roll that up in there if you want. Then you don't have the pretty tail, but if it's too much for you and you want that little extra piece, you can do that. It's not a necessary step by any means, but if you feel like you have too much up there and you just want a little extra support, you can do that. Some people also like to just wrap the adjusting piece, which also is called the tail, around the rings. So then there's not, hard metal rings there. Some people like to do that. Again, it's not a necessary thing. It's just something some people like to do. But then you should be supported across your back, supported across his back, and make sure the little tootsies are settled in there.